From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Friday, October 4th. It is feeling really nice this morning. We're going to get to a bit above normal with temperatures, upper 70s, possibly hitting the 80s today. But hey, finally, great night for Friday Night Football.
With Credit Karma, finding the right credit card for you is easy. Our app analyzes user profiles to suggest personalized recommendations. Visit creditkarma.com today to explore cards tailored to your needs. Credit Karma, simplifying your financial choices.
This Halloween, ghoul all out with Instacart. Whether you're hunting for the perfect costume, eyeing that giant bag of candy, or casting spells with eerie decor, we've got it all in one place. Download the Instacart app and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Service fees, other fees, and additional terms apply. Instacart, bringing the store to your door this Halloween.
In your vote 2024, the 3 candidates for governor meet for the first time in a televised debate. They clashed about abortion rights, education, and other issues in our Wish TV studio last night. News 8's government reporter, Garth Brooks, breaks down last night's showdown.
Republican Mike Braun, Democrat Jennifer McCormick, and Libertarian Donald Rainwater clashed in this very studio. We asked them how they would handle everything from property taxes and housing to abortion and marijuana. They saved some of their sharpest words for education policy. The debate pitted the state's former top education official against 2 critics of her performance.
If you were in charge there for 4 years and results never got any better, I think you got to be held accountable when that's the one thing you did in state government.
As state superintendent, I don't set policy. I implement. I wasn't the one responsible to change the state law to make us keep changing standards and keep changing assessment.
That exchange came during a debate over school vouchers. Braun and Rainwater both support expanding them further, while McCormick says they need to be reined in and have more oversight. All 3 favor cutting property taxes. They say that's the key to making housing more affordable. They differ on how much to cut and which tax relief mechanisms to use. Tempers also flared when News 8 asked about abortion. Braun says he would keep Indiana's near-total abortion ban, while McCormick says she would push to enact the Roe v. Wade standard. Rainwater says he would enforce whatever abortion regulations lawmakers enact, and he said this.
When Dr. McCormick makes it sound like all men are evil and that only women should speak on this issue. I do trust women as well, and there are many women who tell me that they're pro-life.
I never said that. I would never make that accusation, ever. But what I will say is I trust women. And when I trust women, if that equates to the people on this stage that I said that men are horrible people, that should tell you something.
Now, the candidates largely agreed in one area, and that was on marijuana. Both McCormick and Rainwater say they would legalize it for both recreational and medicinal use. Braun hedged on recreational use, but he says it's time to take a hard look at allowing medicinal use. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
A reminder, this Monday is the deadline to register to vote before the November 5th election. To be eligible, you must be a U.S. citizen, be at least 18 years old, and have a valid Indiana driver's license or Indiana state ID card. You can find a link to register to vote or check your registration status on our website, wishtv.com. Now to IT Mate. Prosecutors have charged a daycare worker with breaking a child's leg. They say it happened at a church daycare in Zionsville. IT Mate Scott Sandoval shares what we know about the case.
It happened in July at this daycare. Court documents say daycare teacher Arena Adeniyi put the child above her head, spins him, flips him over her shoulder and onto the ground. Prosecutors say there is video of the incident, but wouldn't share it with us. Police say the video shows the child in distress, crying and holding his lower leg. Initially, the daycare said the child's pain was due to a twisting of the ankle after the teacher lifted him in the air. The boy's father took him to a hospital that night, and x-rays showed the child fractured the lower portion of his leg. The child's father called police after seeing the video. I stopped by the church daycare and they did not want to comment, but they did say that the teacher no longer works there. The teacher told police she usually picks up the children and flips them to make them smile. Police say text messages revealed Adeniyi texted her supervisor, saying, "I think I just broke his foot playing with him too hard." She later describes the child to police as not really a nice kid, a crybaby, and that he has anger problems. The child is healing, and his cast has since been removed. The teacher is charged with battery of a minor and neglect. There's also a warrant out for her arrest. Reporting in Boone County, I'm Kat Sandoval, ITmate, Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Police say an argument escalated to gunfire at a home on the far east side of Indianapolis, leaving a man dead and a woman critically wounded. Investigators say the pair started arguing at about 3 in the afternoon and that the man shot the woman, then killed himself about 4 hours into the dispute. In the aftermath of the tragedy, IMPD is urging anyone in a domestic abuse situation to try to get out and contact police. Indiana Task Force 1 is offering new views of the devastation in North Carolina. Photos they posted on social media overnight show the team in rugged, nearly impassable terrain, while the caption lauds the natural beauty buried under the debris. The update ends with, "We will not take our foot off the accelerator until we have done all we can for Western North Carolina." News 8's Adam Pinsker talked to a leader of the team who says it's one of the toughest missions the task force has ever tackled.
This part of North Carolina is in a remote mountainous region. Cell phone communication was difficult before this storm hit. Now it's virtually non-existent. Heavy rains from Helene sparked flash floods and mudslides that washed away homes. Members of Task Force 1 are working 15 to 20 hours a day trying to find survivors. Task Force 1 Battalion Chief Jay Sedergren estimates some areas of western North Carolina got 35 inches of rain from Hurricane Helene, touching off flash floods that obliterated homes and businesses.
To tell you there's piles of mud, it's unbelievable. They're as big as a pickup truck. That high. It looks like snow if you could equate it to that in a snowstorm in the Midwest.
Task Force 1 brought along canine units to help search through damaged homes to see if anyone is still inside.
If we do get sent, then we have to work into the houses. So we use a lot of our technical rescue skills. We have to cut into the homes. We have to be able to breach to get into those areas to confirm whether it's human remains or not.
The job is grueling but vital, as many people living in these remote areas are several miles from the nearest town and are cut off from communication with the rest of the world. Access into some of these areas is cut off because the storms washed out roads.
We're doing the best we can to basically locate these folks and get the information back to the county EOCs so that they can let their loved ones know.
Indiana Task Force 1 is made up of emergency responders from the public and private sectors. They've responded to massive disasters in the past, including the 9/11 terrorist attacks and the condominium collapse in South Florida. But Sedergren says what happened in North Carolina is catastrophic.
It's absolutely one of the more severe ones we've been to, damage-wise. I would compare it a lot to the Kentucky floods because it's almost the exact same topography.
There are still several missions left for Indiana Task Force 1 to complete in North Carolina. It is unclear when they will return to Indiana. Adam Pinsker, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook for updates.
The Secretary of Homeland Security says he's worried FEMA doesn't have enough money to make it through the hurricane season. Congress gave an additional $20 billion to FEMA in the recent stopgap funding bill, but FEMA's administrator says a lot of that could be spent on recovery from Helene due to the extent of the storm's damage.
As we look at the infrastructure damages to water, to the cell lines, to power, the ability to get those turned back on is going to be complicated just by the way Appalachia is configured.
President Joe Biden says he has not ruled out calling Congress back from its recess to consider a supplemental relief bill for FEMA. This morning, port workers on the East and Gulf Coast are back on the job for now. They have agreed to postpone their walkout until mid-January to give the two sides more time to negotiate a deal. The International Longshoremen's Association and the U.S. Maritime Alliance say they have agreed to pay raises, but they are still split on other issues and say they will keep negotiating. If they don't get a deal done by January 15th, the union says workers will strike again. A woman is suing singer Garth Brooks, saying he sexually harassed her for years and once raped her. Brooks says it's not true and that it's a case of extortion. The two have dueling legal claims. Brooks moved first, filing as John Doe, sharply denying the allegations and asking courts to block his accuser's lawsuit. Her claim is filed under Jane Roe and explicitly describes a series of incidents she says happened while she worked for Brooks for several years doing hair and makeup. Brooks claims in a new statement that it's a case of defamation and that his accuser is after hush money. Caitlin Clark now can say publicly what's been an open secret. The WNBA confirms earlier reports that Clark is the league's Rookie of the Year. Clark actually found out while the Fever were still in the playoffs. The Fever released video of the big phone call from the WNBA's commissioner.
All of you, that hard work and dedication, and it's paid off with your playoffs, etc. And I know the best is yet to come. So, congratulations, Caitlin. You are the 2024 Kia WNBA Rookie of the Year.
Clark set the league's record for points scored by a rookie and broke the single-season assist record, all while helping to lead the Fever to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. She's the third Fever player overall to be named Rookie of the Year, joining last year's winner, Aaliyah Boston, and Fever great Tamika Catchings, who won back in 2002. The Colts are battered heading into rival territory this weekend, and it's not yet clear who will be ready to play. The good news, quarterback Anthony Richardson practiced with the team for a second straight day and looks likely to play. Several other key players did not hit the field Thursday. Center Ryan Kelly, cornerback Kenny Moore, and running back Jonathan Taylor. Taylor left Sunday's game in the fourth quarter with an ankle injury. He says it is not as severe as others he's had in the past.
Of course, with it not being as severe as previous, is actually a sign of relief, and it's like, okay, just let's go through our normal ankle protocol. So it's actually a bit better for me because it's not as severe as last time.
Taylor had surgery on the same ankle last year. The Colts play the Jaguars this Sunday at 1. Indianapolis has not won in Jacksonville since 2014. You can keep up with the Colts and the Fever with our new All Indiana Sports app. Just go to your phone's app store where you can download it for free. Now that October is here, a favorite local tradition returns at the Indianapolis Zoo. Zoo-Boo is back. That means trick-or-treating and animal exhibits. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez is at the zoo this morning with what's new this year.
If you've been to Zoo-Boo before, you can still expect the photo safari, the mirror maze, all of the mainstays, lots of trick-or-treating, and the elephants will still have pumpkins to smash. You can always expect that, but we're inside Leeward Manor. It's one of the new attractions for Zoo-Boo this year. It's kind of a haunted maze kind of idea here. Still a little spooky, a little bit more friendly for the kids. Here to tell us a little bit more about it is Cody Maddox. He's with the zoo. And Cody, just tell us more about the lore behind Leeward Manor.
Absolutely. So Leeward Manor is the home of three of our characters, the Leeward sisters, which are three witches that are named after the elements of the earth, Terra, Wisp, and Bubbles. And as you step inside their home, you can see that you are fully immersed into the world of Halloween and nature combined. You see we have moving furniture, we have animals, we have nature, we have earth, wind, and water elements. It's a great way to, get people into the Halloween spirit and, also, care about nature as well. So it's what perfect place to do that than at a zoo.
And we're kind of walking towards the end of the maze manor, if you will. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about this room, because you guys are introducing a new character that I thought was pretty fun.
Yes, so through here, this is where guests will be able to meet our newest character this year. Her name is Clairvoyant, and she is the fortune-telling aunt of the Leeward sisters. And what she does is she uses her psychic abilities as well as her magic trees that you can see here, and she helps determine what your animal familiar is. And what that is, in another way, it's kind of like your spirit animal in a way. So it's like connecting, like, what is your animal on the spirit level of personality-wise. And could it be a sloth? Could it be a chameleon? Could it be an axolotl? Or a tarantula? Or who knows? It's all about what your personality is. I got mine. I was pretty happy with mine. And I always tell people, you want to find out yours, you got to come down. You got to meet Clairvoyant.
What was yours real quick?
Fennec Fox.
All right. Cody, thanks for your time this morning. We really appreciate it. Zubu runs Wednesdays through Sundays through Halloween, October 31st. It starts at 2 every day. Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Hernan Gutierrez for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
It's Oktoberfest season, and the city of Carmel is celebrating tonight. City says Carmel Oktoberfest will feature German food, a beer garden, and polka music. It's free, open to all ages. It runs from 6 to 10 tonight at the Carmel City Center. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
Okay, it's time to commit. 2024 is the year for prioritizing yourself. Begin your new smile journey with Byte, and you could start seeing results in just 2 to 3 weeks. Just order your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95 at Byte.com. Byte clear aligners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces. Plus, they offer financing options, accept eligible insurance, and you can pay with your HSA FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
Whether you're scouring business financial sites or listening to economics podcasts like this one till your ears ring, you'll find there's no surefire secret to successfully managing your company's finances for the future. It turns out you might just need to pair with PNC Corporate and Institutional Banking, whose team of dedicated relationship managers bring 160 years of experience, pragmatic advice, and an array of tools and tech to scale to any size business. In fact, they're so tuned in to what you need, they knew you'd be listening to this podcast. As for that ringing in your ears, that's the brilliant sound of success. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC and PNC Bank are registered marks of the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc., PNC. Copyright 2024, the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc., all rights reserved.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcasts.